So, let's hit record and start the show. Hey everyone, I'm Jeff from InThirdPerson.com, a website about video games, board games, and other nerdy pursuits. And today on the show, I'm feeling a little nostalgic. I want to go back in time and let's go play the NES Classic. I don't actually know what I want to play on the NES Classic, but I want to play some old stuff. And I wanted to tell you guys a story about why I'm feeling nostalgic. Let's start with Balloon Fight. I like Balloon Fight, and I think in particular, I want to play the Balloon Trip mode, which I think is underappreciated in the pantheon of video games. So, over the weekend, I think it was on Sunday, I made reference to playing old video game consoles, such as the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. And I've always wanted to play them on stream or get footage of them, but never really did the legwork to figure out how it worked, or like how to get that going. And so I did some research, and it seemed like the easy way to do it was Elgato's got some instructions. I have an Elgato Game Capture HD, and the instructions seem simple enough, like use this adapter, plug all the cables in, and you should be good to go. And for me, it was not good to go. And so, anyway, I just died. This might be the first endless runner, the Balloon Trip mode, because it just keeps going. I don't think there's an end. You just kind of go, or at the very least, you go a really long time. And so I think regular Balloon Fight it's fine. It's kind of like a bootleg joust. But I've always liked this mode as a kid, just trying to zone out and get to the end without getting touched. It can get really hard. It actually does get really hard. Oh, come on. Whoa! Oh, man, snapped up. And so it got me down a rabbit hole. Like, actually tried it out. I tried to do the setup. I had the Super Nintendo out here a couple hours ago. I hooked everything up, and for like a split second, my computer sort of recognized that something was plugged in. And then it didn't work, and the TV said it said something I'd never seen before. It said out of range. So I'm pretty sure the TV recognized that something was plugged in, but it wasn't strong. The signal probably wasn't strong enough. So hooking it up the default way, not going to work. It then got me looking into some other potential options, and one of those was a composite to HDMI adapter. And going through the process of that, there are some really cheap ones. Like, you can get a composite to HDMI adapter for under 20 bucks, but apparently there are issues with conversion in terms of just like pixels being all distorted down to lag, and the price ranges wildly. The one I always hear about is the FrameMeister. Okay, we're gonna end this. I think we've had enough Balloon Fight here. Probably not gonna make for a great stream. I just want to play like old stuff. Here, let's play some Donkey Kong Jr. I know this is another one I like that I think is a little underrated. What was I talking about now? What were oh, the FrameMeister. I've heard a lot about the FrameMeister, but it's like over 300 bucks. And I am not in the market to pay over $300 to stream my retro gaming consoles at this point in time. And so, there's just a big difference in cost, potentially in performance, or like presumably in performance as well. And I'd like to do it. It's a lot more work than I thought it would be. I guess you gotta do it if you want to stream. But like, man, it would be awesome to get streaming of those old games going. Because I have a lot of old games between the NES I don't think will work, because it doesn't run on composite. But between the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64, and the GameCube, I can stream a lot of different stuff. And I'm probably going to get the N64 and the GameCube back from my brother, who's not really doing anything with that stuff right now. And I asked him, like, hey... Okay, we suck at Donkey Kong Jr. If he was doing anything with it, and it's just kind of sitting in a box in the basement, so I could take it back here and add it to my collection, which would be great. But I really want to be able to stream that stuff, kind of get some extra value out of it. Like, sure, I like being able to play that stuff, but I think being able to also stream it and share that experience with you guys would really bring that stuff up to the next level for me and breathe new life into that. Because there are a lot of games that, as great as consoles like the Nintendo 64, or not the Nintendo 64 Classic, I'm just speculating again. As great as the NES Classic can be, the Super NES Classic, I know Sega and Atari have their kind of own versions of the retro console. There's a lot of games on those platforms as well that will never make it and never get re-released, and it's a shame that those games are lost to time if you cannot... We gotta beat this level. We gotta beat this level. That I'd love to share that you just won't be able to see anywhere else. So, like, one of my last retro game purchases was Weapon Lord on the Super Nintendo, and that game is pretty ahead of its time. Okay, we're just gonna stop right there on the Donkey Kong Jr. I'm not as good as I thought it was, and that's totally fine. Yeah, Weapon Lord, totally ahead of its time. Really cool game, but I think I can't remember who publishes it, but that game's never coming back. Like, let's be real here. I mean, we got some obvious classics here. I want to play just, like, light stuff. Like, Star Tropics, the last time I played it was really cool. But yeah, that's such a deep, involved game. I mean, we could just play some Super Mario Zone out. Alright, here's what we're going to do. For the next little bit, I'm going to try and play Super Mario straight up. No warps, no nothing. Let's just see how far we can go. Definitely not speedrun quality here. And I only beat this game a year or so ago. You can find that on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/jet-in-third-person, where I finally beat the game. Of course, I kind of used an emulator to help out, because this game is really tough. This was my white whale for the longest time, and I'm glad to have beaten it. I know I used emulators and whatever, but I still count it. It is good enough for me, and I think I've done okay with my video game career beyond, or without having had this on my resume in the past, so I will be okay. So if anyone has any advice on how to stream retro consoles to modern TVs, please let me know. Any recommendations would help. I see some reviews on like $20 converters, and some people say like, yeah, this works fine. Other people saying, oh, the picture quality's not so great. Other people saying, oh, the sound doesn't work at all on this. And then one that people said was pretty good is like closer to $100, and then the one that people say is the best is 300 plus, and I'm just not there. I know I think that's part of why consoles like the Retron do so well, because it's cheaper than having to do all that extra junk to get those consoles working. And I said no warps. I said no. Aw, man. I can't believe I said no warps. And okay, we're just gonna go to World 2. Totally let myself down there. I'm pretty sure I could have beaten World 1, but that's alright. Let's keep it moving. Yeah, I'm just so used to playing it that way with the warps, and I'm sure you are too, if you've ever spent any meaningful time with this game. Because who plays this game straight up? So yeah, any recommendations on how to stream or how to record retro game consoles would be greatly appreciated, because I'm feeling kind of lost. I want to do it. I've got a lot of games that would be perfect for video that I'd love to capture. It's just I don't know how to do it, so. Yeah, I don't remember this level at all. So, hope you guys are doing well. I guess we could talk about some... I don't know if any big game stuff happened today. I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest. But we could talk about WrestleMania. I ordered the WWE Network just so my wife and I could watch WrestleMania. And it was okay. I think okay to good. The pay-per-view started out really good. That Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, The Miz match was awesome. The Charlotte and Asuka match was amazing. I don't necessarily agree with Charlotte having to win it, but if she was gonna win it, it was gonna be in a match like that, which was an awesome, fantastic match. And I think that was my favorite match of them all. The U.S. title match was okay. Not necessarily sure Jinder Mahal needed to win it, but that's okay. The match itself was all right. The big standout, though, was the Ronda Rousey match with Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, Kurt Angle. That could have been a disaster. I think a lot of people were expecting it to be pretty bad. Ronda, of course, UFC star. Never having fought in a WWE ring, but she seemed like a natural out there in terms of the move she was performing, her ability to sell, her acting, and like being able, knowing how to like act and lay it on thick and build drama. Like, I love the end of that match where she's like taunting Stephanie as she's about to break her arm and rip her arm out of the socket, and that was just really well done. So shout out to Ronda. She's gonna do great in the WWE, and I'm cheering for her for sure. But then after that, it kind of fell off a cliff. The Nia Jax Alexa Bliss match was not that great. The Bludgeon Brothers, it was a squash. I guess that was what it was supposed to be, but wasn't that entertaining. The Nakamura AJ Styles match was fine. The Braun Strowman match with the kid that won, like, he pulled the kid from the crowd. I don't know what the deal is with that kid. I know Raw is on right now, and I'm not watching it. And then the main event was just awful. Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns, and everyone thought this was going to be the year Roman Reigns won it, despite everyone not liking Roman Reigns. But then Roman Reigns loses, and people are still mad. I know on one hand they're probably like, what do you guys want? You don't want Roman Reigns to win, so we didn't have him win on the biggest stage. But, like, they made him look like Superman there, just making him take 6 F5s before going down. It's too much. And it was just a poorly executed match. Both of those guys are capable of better. And so, yeah, as you probably gather now, I wouldn't say I'm a hardcore wrestling fan. Like, if anything, I'm wildly inconsistent. I loved it as a kid. Stopped watching it for a couple years when, like, oh, wrestling... It kind of ebbed and flowed with video games for a long time, so... As a kid, I was playing WrestleMania on the NES. Terrible game, by the way. Don't play that. Oh, man. What happened then? Then Royal Rumble on the Super Nintendo was a big one. I started watching again. Attitude Era happened. I ended up watching a lot of that. Also because WCW versus NWO World Tour happened, and that game was... That whole, like, Aki series, all the way up to No Mercy, was phenomenal, and in particular, I would love to stream that game. I would still play the heck out of some WWE No Mercy. WWF No Mercy. Excuse me. Also, I should pull up the chat. Hope I'm not missing anything. Okay, yeah, give me a shout in the chat if you got any questions for me or want to talk about game stuff. Maybe you've got some recommendations for me on how to stream retro consoles or whatever the case is. Hold on, let me just pause something real quick. There we go. Also, question for you guys: when you video preview in Twitch, does that count? Does you watching the preview count towards your viewer count? Just random question, out of curiosity. Uh-oh. 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 Get that. Get that. Oh, okay. Whew. This is the... Isn't this where you can do the minus world thing? That might have been it. I've never actually done that trick before. Also have no idea how to do it. Oh crap, I have to do... Just reminded. I got an email from TurboTax and realized I still have some tax stuff to take care of. Kick that to the curb. See, I think we'll just play this out until we game over, and then... Oh, we'll try something else after. So yeah, I was playing a lot, or like following wrestling when I was still playing those WWF games on the Nintendo 64. But then WrestleMania... Was it WrestleMania 18? Yeah, WrestleMania 18 on the GameCube was made by a different developer, and it was not what I was expecting, not what I wanted, and I kind of fell off of wrestling video games and wrestling from there, so just stopped watching for well over a decade. What sort of got me back into it now is, for a while, my wife, Steph, got into the reality TV show Total Divas. And it was kind of interesting seeing some of the wrestlers I recognize appear on that show and all of that, which kind of got us looped into watching the show itself. I think at a certain point, oh man, she was watching the show and then they were advertising a house show in Toronto and we're like, let's go check it out. And so it kind of got us from there. Like, I don't watch Raw or SmackDown, like, ever. I'll watch the YouTube clips where... I don't even watch the WWE's clips. I'll watch recaps from, like, What Culture or Cultaholic. They just break it down, like, what I missed in, like, 5 minutes or less, because... One, watching wrestling is a really big commitment, with the shows being, like, 2-3 hours each. And on top of that, for the most part, they're not that good. So I only really care for, like, the big pay-per-views and what's going on there. Your Royal Rumbles, your WrestleManias. That was the first time I paid for wrestling. This WrestleMania, getting the WWE Network, which we have now. I'm actually excited for the greatest Royal Rumble, which just sounds like the most ridiculous thing. Just a bunch of billionaires in Saudi Arabia threw a bunch of money at Vince McMahon. And they were like, we want the most extravagant WrestleMania, so do 50 dudes instead of 30, and put all the titles on the line. So that's what they're going to do. And that's going to fit within my 1 month that I have to pay for WWE Network. So we'll go and watch that for sure. After that, though, I'm canceling the channel, like, as soon as possible. I just don't need that much wrestling in my life. I don't follow it seriously enough to invest in it in any meaningful way. Though I will say, like, WWE Network, great deal if you have any interest in the WWE or wrestling in general. Let me just nudge the camera here a little bit. Oh man, have I been... Alright, let's go. So yeah, we're having a pretty decent run here. Yeah, we can talk a little more about retro games. I don't necessarily consider myself to be a collector of games, but I do have a collection of games just by proxy of when you play video games as a hobby, you're gonna end up collecting a bunch of stuff as you go. So I've got an NES with about a dozen games, a Super Nintendo with like 2 dozen games, Nintendo 64 with like 40 games, a GameCube with about 40 games as well. And yeah, I would love to stream or record all of that stuff if we can get that working. But right now I've got this sort of entertainment unit, which is to my right, that has all of our consoles kind of set up. Looks like a nice little library. I'd like to get some LED lights in there, just so you can see it in the dark a little better. Uh-oh. And then some proper shelving for the games, because right now I only have shelving for modern games, and all my retro stuff is sitting in shoe boxes under the entertainment unit. Not the most ideal solution. How long have we been streaming for here? Like 20 minutes. Okay. Once again, I'm not playing for warps. We're just playing straight up. Just because I feel like playing some old games right now. Still feeling sad about not being able to hook up retro consoles onto my modern setup. Yeah, Contra, for example. Classic Contra, not available on... Oh, that was the game I wanted to stream. Oh. So, okay, Oh, it's late. At some point this week, I will At some point in the near future, I will be streaming Hardcore Uprising, which is a Contra game by the makers of Dragon Ball FighterZ, Arc System Works. And that game is awesome. I already have a video of it on my YouTube channel. You can get to see the link below, youtube.com/jet in third person. But yeah, I definitely want to play that game again, because that game was really good, and I don't think most people gave it the time of day that it deserved. And yeah, definitely diving into Xbox 360 backwards compatibility. I should hook up the original 362. That said, I do have a problem with my disk drive, where it doesn't open all that often, so I needed like a special thing to poke the emergency release on it every time, and I don't have the poker anymore, so that could be a problem. Falling off could also be a problem. Alright, well, that was a good run. Let's play something else. Bubble Bobble. I don't like Bubble Bobble. Do not like that at all. Castlevania is cool. Dr. Mario. Ghouls and Ghosts is too hard. Ice Climber. Kid Icarus is not good. Kirby's great. We just played platformer though. I mean, then again, like a lot of these are platformers. Punch Out's kind of neat. Super C. Tecmo? Legend of Zelda. Oh, we could play some Zelda. Yeah. Alright. We'll play a little bit of Zelda before we wrap this up. And I will warn you now, I have no idea what I'm doing. I can beat the first dungeon off by heart, and then after that, I have no idea where to go. So we're just gonna run around this overworld and kill some stuff. Maybe we'll find some secrets. If you're in the chat, you could probably give me some tips on where to go, what to do. Oh! Alright, Gabriel Paradise 83. Thank you for shouting the shout out in the chat. Can I pop this out? Oh, what am I doing? Alright, let's get to it. Or if there's any games you want to watch me play on the NES Classic, that's cool too. Like, yeah, I just kind of want to zone out, play some old stuff. Do have some other retro games coming in the near future. We've got the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. And yeah, sorry about the delay, Gabriel, if I was slow to answer. I did not have the stream chat open, and I'm about to die here. This is not good. Okay, let's get that clock. Oof. Play some Mario games. Okay. We just played some Mario 1. We do have... I mean, there's Dr. Mario. I mean, we could play some Mario 3. That's the classic, right? Is that the most obvious choice? Let's put... Okay, let me just update the... Man, there are a lot of people playing Super Mario Bros. 3 right now on Twitch. Gabriel, any particular reason you wanted to see Mario games? I mean, there's other stuff on here. We could talk about, like, Dr. Mario, original Mario Bros., which I actually just bought on the Atari 2600. Love to stream that too, but of course I can't. That one I definitely can't hook up. It's... Oh, jeez. How did I screw that up? Oh, man. Okay. I'm gonna throw myself in the hole, because that is not how you should play this game. You can't start level 1 like that. You gotta do this right, so let's do it. Ah, well, great choice. Mario games do have incredible music. This game, no exception. Unfortunately, due to the way my stream is set up, I can't actually hear the audio because it's all the audio is feeding into the computer right now. I don't have any sort of HDMI audio out or audio splitter. I could listen to the... Actually, I can't even listen to the PC feed anymore because we're using OBS, and OBS doesn't provide any sort of preview. So I don't get to hear any of this right now. I could hum it. I'm going to be completely offbeat or whatever. But yeah, Mario games in general have fantastic music. I think even Dr. Mario has great music. Mario 3, amazing soundtrack. Mario 1, I mean... Mario 1, super iconic soundtrack, but this game has... My favorite soundtrack is... I know the answer to this, and I believe I've talked about this before. It's Super Mario World. And it's my favorite soundtrack because... That game is basically one song, and there's just a bunch of different iterations of that song being played at once, and I love that idea of playing this one theme so many different ways to make so many different sort of songs, essentially, but it's really the same medley throughout. Melody, sorry, not medley. Gabriel Paradise, what is your favorite Super Mario soundtrack? Another shout, Mario Odyssey has a pretty good soundtrack too. I think there's the one level that has where you use like the jumping turnip thing. It's so good. But yeah, Koji Kondo is a legend. I think did I see him live? I've been to a couple of video games live concerts now that we're talking about Super Mario. And no, it was the video game pianist when this was like at the dawn of the YouTube era, and his video was just blowing up. And he was one of the first people to. I know it's like super cliche now, but oh man, Super Mario Land looks like Mario 3. Yeah, yeah, they do. I think they were being developed around the same time. I've actually haven't played much of Super Mario Land. I've played it at like demo kiosks or borrowed it from. No, I didn't even borrow it from friends. Mostly demo kiosks, so I've played it a handful of times. Never got very far in it. The Game Boy in general, I didn't play much of. So I missed out on a lot of stuff. I did have a Game Boy for most of its life, but it was my brother's Game Boy. He got it as a hand-me-down from my cousins. And so... And on top of that, like, he was a toddler when he got the Game Boy, and I was already a big kid, and so I always saw the Game Boy as being like a kid's device, and so I didn't really play the Game Boy all that much. I wanted the hardcore games. Kind of like the debates people have now with the Switch versus your PlayStations and Xboxes. Super Mario 3D. Oh, Super Mario 3D Land. I was thinking Super Mario Land. Sorry, man. Super Mario 3D Land. I love that game. I don't remember much of it off the top of my head now, other than it played a lot like Super Mario 3D World, which for some reason I remember way more. Also, I screwed that up. I did not get the whistle. Damn it. Okay, well, we'll get the other whistle and we'll just play. We'll let it rock. Last time I tried I did a video recording of me playing this game, I ended up rage quitting it because I don't remember how to beat Super Mario 3. That final level, Bowser's Castle, has the sort of Super Mario 1-esque of you have to walk in a very specific sequence in order to trigger the last boss, and I just do not remember how to do it. And I did not want to stop the video to figure it out or like refer to a guide, so I just kind of shut it off. Super Mario 3D World is also great. I really enjoy the music there too, turning into a cat, being able to play that co-op with friends. I didn't get very far playing co-op with friends. We played it once or twice. I guess my co-op Mario group is myself, my wife, my sister-in-law, and my sister-in-law's boyfriend. And the first time we did it, we played... What did we play? It was the Wii version, New Super Mario Bros. And we stayed up, like, we beat that whole game in one night. And... yeah, we stayed up till like 3 o'clock in the morning trying to beat it. And eventually we did, and it was one of our favorite video games moments of all time. And we only got about halfway through Super Mario 3D World. But that was fun while we played it. Oh, he's been... yeah, thank you for shouting out some more Mario games. I can keep talking about these. 3D Land, 3D World. Super Mario Sunshine. That is an interesting one. I think that game, like, I remember the... is it the main... I don't know if it's the main theme or not. The one with the guitar, the dun 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 dun. And I actually don't like that game. I think that is one of, if not the worst mainline Mario game. I remember being extremely disappointed with it at the time because all the levels looked the same. I thought the jumping was really clunky. I hated the camera in that game. And at a certain point, it goes really hard too. I think technical issues made that really hard. And just like level design was super frustrating. So I don't remember if I beat that. Super Mario Brothers 2. Okay, we can play that one a little later. I love that game, personally. I know that is everyone knows the story about Super Mario 2 not being a real Super Mario game. It's Doki Doki Panic, but man, that game is so much fun. And I love the super crazy secrets in there that most people would never find on their own. But then again, a lot of the Mario secrets you probably wouldn't find on your own. Man, he's just listing off all these games. Super Mario 64, another classic. I have a soft spot in my heart for that game. Also great music. Oh, hold on. Nope, I don't want to use any of that stuff. I had our Nintendo 64, was that one of the things that got stolen? Yeah, I think our original Nintendo 64 got stolen. The one that we have now, yeah, we lost our copy of Super Mario 64. That got stolen too, so I don't think I actually have a copy of Super Mario 64, but I did beat that game, and I finished it with, I think, 112 out of 120 stars. Oh, sorry, I see your comment. Super Mario Bros. 2 was replaced with... I don't see the rest of the message if there is a rest of the message. But yeah, it was Doki Doki Panic. Oh. Super Mario Bros. 2 was replaced with the 3DS game. I'm not really sure what you're saying there. Give me that Firefly. Alright, so yeah, if you're just tuning in, I am Jet from inthirdperson.com, a website about video games, board games, other nerdy pursuits. You can see all my social links below and the website, of course, on the right. Definitely give those a shot. If you're enjoying the stream, definitely check out some of my other stuff. I talk a lot about video games, fighting games in particular, though I cover a lot of other stuff. Board games. For a while I was doing comic books. I don't do comic books anymore. Getting thirsty here. Check out the Facebook page. Get all my posts and videos directly in your news feed. And of course, the Twitch channel, which I'm now switching to full-time, twitch.tv/jetftw. I used to have the proper name, but it got corrupted in the Justin.tv takeover, so I think that name is long gone, and I'm just gonna have to stick with my gamertag name. Super Mario Bros. 2 was replaced with a boss name. Alright, let's get that. Yeah, I can play some Super Mario 2. Yeah, let's go Switch. Let's at least finish this out. Gabriel Paradise, by chance, did you get to play Super Mario Odyssey? Let me switch back here, just make sure everything's running okay. This seems to be working fine. Let's go play something else. Mario 2. Oh. I'm gonna play Toad. Actually, no, we're gonna play some Princess Peach. Princess Peach is great. She's not my favorite character in this, actually. I'm a weirdo that prefers Toad because he lifts stuff really quickly, even if his jumping is horrible. But yeah, Princess Peach being able to float like that. Top tier. I've never done that before. Or I just like recaught it after I threw it. And so yeah, people kind of discredit this game not being a real Mario game, but then a lot of the stuff did end up being in other Mario games. Like Shy Guys, Birdo. Last boss. Last boss of the Super Mario Bros. 2 this. Oh, yeah, heart. Alright. Actually, let me update the stream real quick. There we go. Oh man. Oh yeah, I gotta do the power jump thing. Uh-oh. Nice. Oh, definitely don't want that. Oh yeah, this is the back of the Birdo boss. Oh, good dodge. Baseline of this game sounds like drums. I wish I could hear that stuff, but I recognize like this boss fight. Alright, there we go. Triple cherries? Ah, close. Okay, 10:53. I'm probably gonna wrap up the stream soonish. I'm streaming for a bit. I gotta start getting ready for bed. It is getting late here, and I gotta go to work in the morning, so thank you for checking out the stream. We're gonna keep playing, though, at least for the next little bit. Oh, jeez. Woof, that was close. Oh yeah, one of these warp pipes has the key, and then yeah, the mask is gonna chase me. This act now that I think about it, that segment being down there reminds me a lot of E.T. on the Atari 2600. Just having to go down inside like a cave and get something and then come back out. Of course, Mario 2 is way better, and E.T. is Hot Fire Flames. Or not Hot Fire Flames, just hot garbage. Complete opposite of Hot Fire Flames. It's flames with garbage. Bang. Throw that in there. What else is going on? Alright, let's go. We're just smashing now. Nope, nothing. Alright. So for those just tuning in, my name is Jet from InThirdPerson.com, a website about video games, board games, and other nerdy pursuits. I'm just feeling nostalgic, so I got the Nintendo NES Classic up. We're just jumping through random games. We're playing some Super Mario Bros. 2 at the moment. I will be the first to tell you I'm not particularly good at this game, so don't expect me crazy speed running or anything like that. Just kind of hanging out. Gabriel Paradise 83 and I are, oh man, just talking about Super Mario soundtracks. If you're enjoying the stream, if you enjoy the stream, if you're just tuning in, yeah, check out the stream if you enjoy it. Definitely give me a sub. That would be greatly appreciated, and I do stream a couple times a week, so you can check out some of the new streams as we go. Oh, there's a secret here. Ah, hold on. We're gonna kill it. I want to get the secret. I'm pretty sure there's a secret right there. I know it's been a long time, but... Oh, no. Let's see if we can get it. And you have to throw it, like, here-ish. There we go. I haven't beat this game in a long time. This was actually the first... This might have been the first Mario game I ever beat. No, I beat Super Mario World, that first. That was the first Mario game I beat. Let's see if we can get through this. This is not easy. There is key. Yeah, there are keys for the doors and stuff in this game. Whoa. Oh, we got slowdown. I don't think I recall seeing slowdown. Ah. Alright, we're down to 1 life. Once we go game over, I'll flip the game to something else. We've played 3 Mario games. If we're focusing on the music specifically, I think maybe we'll play like a minute or 2 of Dr. Mario, and then we'll call it a night. Oh, almost got it that time. Almost got it that time. Hey, we got 1 up. Nope. Alright, we'll go back to Peach. Just adjust my positioning here. Once again, feel free to chime in the chat. I'll answer any questions you may have, or any comments you may have while we are playing here. I see Gabriel has been throwing in a lot of comments. Truly appreciate it, man. Oh, that was a rookie mistake. The game is long. If you were to beat all the levels one by one, like, yeah, this is a long game. But if you were to use all the warps, you could get through it pretty quick. And I died. Yeah, I was about to go to the other warp. I'm pretty sure there is another warp here. I do not remember where, but you have to take that potion to a really weird spot in the map. I'll know it when I see it. That's assuming we even make it that far. I think it's... No, that was it right there! Okay. Does this at least get me back to that level where we have to play from 4-1? I don't want to play from 4-1. Yeah. Alright, last game since we are talking about Mario music. Let's throw on some Dr. Mario. And crank up that difficulty a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Fever. Both songs are good. Actually, let's update the stream one more time. Do we seriously not have Dr. Mario in... There it is, Dr. Mario. Let's go. Adore nice music in this game. Oh man, this is the eternal struggle with Dr. Mario. Is just at a certain point you're gonna have to put blocks in places that you don't want to put them, and it is a struggle to work around that. I actually, while we talk about Dr. Mario, I was at a local retro gaming store. I recently moved back to my hometown, and since I came back, a new video game store, well, a retro gaming store has opened since I left the town, left the city, and we checked it out for the first time, and it was really cool. They had a lot of retro games there, and they had a lot of heat, I will say. There were a lot of games that I was like, man, I would really love to own this if I had $900. But the one game that I saw there that I was heavily considering picking up was the 2-in-1 Tetris and Dr. Mario game on the Super Nintendo, which they had for, I think, 35 bucks Canadian. It's a little steep, but I like both of those games. I like Tetris, I like Dr. Mario. I don't think I've ever actually played the 2-pack. And so I thought about it for a while, still thinking about it. I wouldn't be surprised if it was gone at this point, but I would like to have that in the collection at some point. And now we're just trying to stall for time while we play for the right piece. Oh man. Oh, this is getting bad. Okay. There we go. Nice little chain reaction. I need to... Alright, this should be in the bag now. Let's finish this off, and then I'll switch to the other song. I know there's only like 2 songs in the game, but they are both great songs. And then we'll close this out. Yeah, Dr. Mario has come back. I see your comment, Gabriel Paradise. Dr. Mario has come back a few times. Yeah, pretty sure. It came back in the. It came back on the Wii, and then it recently came out. Most recently came out on the Wii U as Dr. Luigi, which I never did play, but I'm pretty sure it just plays like this. And we should. Let's reset that. I think level 6 is probably a little too much for me. Actually, we'll do level 6 and we'll change the music to chill, which is another great song, and then I'll probably lose here because this looks hella intimidating. Yeah, one of the weird quirks going into that store and realizing that retro gaming has gotten really expensive. I happen to have a bunch of stuff from the time, but it's crazy now when I see games going up for like hundreds of dollars when the original game was under $100. And granted, games were not cheap back then. I think particularly because cartridges were so expensive to make that, in Canada at least. I see you, Gabriel Paradise. Alright, you want to see Bike Game? Oh, Excite Bike on the NES Classic. It's late. Oh, jeez, it's like 11:08. I'm gonna play the last level of this. I'm gonna play this out, and then I'm gonna call it a night. I will do Excite Bike another time. Sorry, bud. It's just getting late. At least out here in East Coast time. Oh, let's slip that, like, right there. There we go. Oh man, when you make these weird chains where you just need this piece to break this piece to fall on that piece, like it's tough. Dr. Mario is a very unforgiving game. Like now I've dug myself a giant, dug myself a giant hole that I don't know if I'm going to be able to dig out of. No! Oh, there we go. Knock out 2 at once. That was awesome. Alright. We're gonna go here. Oh, here we go. I got a little chain here. Swag. Bang, bang. Alright. That is gonna wrap it up for today's stream. Thank you so much for watching. Special shout outs to Gabriel Paradise for participating in the chat. Really appreciated your time. Hope you come back for one of my future streams. We'll definitely be doing this again. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed what you saw today. And also check out my site, inthirdperson.com. Let's go to the site right now and show off some stuff happening on the site proper. So if we go here, nope, that's the wrong one. Whoa, it's screen to infinity. This is my site, inthirdperson.com. I write about video games, write about board games, some of the latest stuff on here. Tips for managing meter in Dragon Ball FighterZ. So I'm a huge fan of fighting games, and something I notice a lot playing against people is One of the big differences between the people who are really good and the people who aren't as good is how you manage your meter. So I wrote an article about best ways of using your super meter in order to get the most out of your team. Also, got a quick post about Street Fighter, the miniatures game. Speaking of great music, the Street Fighter series has phenomenal music, and the 3D figures of this board game look incredible. Still on the fence. It's such a expensive proposition that I've been really debating whether or not I get in. I feel like I'm just gonna cave eventually, but we'll see. Um, Old pal Jason and I did a video show just talking about life stuff, talking about some of our favorite games from the last 4 years. And I won $7 in HQ Trivia the other night. So find out my full story there. Or listen to my full story there. Whoa. All right, so that is going to do it for tonight's stream. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jet from inthirdperson.com, and I'll see you later.